So before we get into modeling the head, I actually want to fix this problem going here along the sternum. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. Let's go into our side view here, our front view. And what I want to do is select all these edges right here on the end. Okay, so what we're going to try to do here is drag a lasso right along these edges here, and hopefully we can get just the ones on the end. Oh, first, so let's go ahead and hide this group right here. We don't need to see it, so I'll Control H. There we go. So I just want to select all these end vertices here, so I'll go to vertex mode, and I will go ahead and get my pick marquee tool out here, and I just want to select all of them right down the center. Okay, perfect. We'll go back into this front view and let's just move them out here a little bit. Now it looks like we may need to grab more than just this first set of vertices. So we'll go back into this view and let's try that again. This time we'll go a little bit wider with our selection. Maybe like that. Go back to our front view. Let's try moving that out a little bit. Okay, not quite, but that's okay. We're getting close. We're getting close to what we want. All right, now we just want this line, the second line of vertices, right, and here. Okay, go back, try to move those out a little bit. Looks like this is a perfect example of why you don't want to add too much detail too early on. So we have this problem and it's getting difficult to fix. I'm going to go ahead and undo here, and we'll come up with a better solution for actually moving those polys back into place. Okay. What I'll probably end up doing is deleting my instance so I can see better what I'm doing and going and fixing it manually with the Tweak Components tool. So let's go ahead and try that. I'll go ahead and delete this instance here. Don't worry, it's really easy to bring back. And I will go ahead and go back to Tweak Components. I'll make sure I'm in vertice mode. And I'm just going to grab these individual vertices here and I'll move them out to where I want them, more or less. Looks like I have a million of them selected. So it may seem tedious, but it's kind of relaxing, and it's really not that bad. I just want to make sure that I fix this before we move on in the process of modeling, because the more stuff we add, the harder it will be to go back and fix this problem. Okay. That's getting close. Let's move in here, do some more. And luckily for us, because we're instancing the geometry, we only have to do this once anyway on one side. So that takes care of a lot of problems for us. Looks like these really need to come out here quite a bit. Something like that. That looks a lot better. And as far as this dual neck thing here, what we probably need to do is go ahead and delete all of these polys right here. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll grab face selection tool. We'll delete all of these here that we don't need. And actually looking at this project, I think we can get away with deleting even more of the topology on the front. Let me just take a look here. I don't want to. Yeah, let's go ahead and let's take off another edge here. You can always go back. That's why undo is wonderful. That's why your undo should always be set to infinite. Okay. This will make things a lot easier for us getting rid of these extra components here. Okay, and delete them, just like that. Okay, no problem. Looks like we accidentally deleted one in here. That's not going to be too big of a problem to fill. And since it took forever to select all those, we'll just go ahead and take care of that real quick. I will go ahead and select the edges here, double click, and I will go mesh fill hole. Just like that, super simple to solve. Now, we do have a problem where we have our geometry all crossing this origin here, this origin line, and I want to fix that real quick. So go to the side view with me, and what we can do is select all of those edges there, so all those vertices there, and make sure we're in the pick marquee selection. We select all of these, we can scale them in like this and straighten them out. Okay, that way when we mirror over our geometry, it will be perfect. So real quick, let's go ahead and do that, and then in the next lesson we'll start on the face. So with this object selected, again, this is a good review, we'll go edit, duplicate special, and make sure we have instance, -1 scale, hit apply, and there we go. Now it looks like we may have scaled to a center point that was different, which is okay because we can totally just extrude this geometry over and make that work. We're still gonna have a problem here in the neck to fix. We may have to delete some more polys in the neck. And I'm not gonna worry about moving them together just yet. Probably looks like we didn't fix the back quite perfectly. So I'm gonna undo all that. And let's go ahead and tweak components tool on the back real quick. Let's go to the move. So hit W, and then we should be able to just move these points back out like that. We do want to dip a little bit for the back. We're obviously creating an alien that is not eating a bunch, and that's why it's coming after us, because it's hungry. And therefore, that's why we have such crazy hip bones sticking out and such a thin stomach. This alien's hungry. That's the reason why it's attacking. In case any of you guys weren't wondering, that's what aliens do. They feed on you. Now, some aliens feed on your mind, and that's a different type of alien. We will be creating those in my game because they're terrifying. And sometimes it's more terrifying to have them feed on your mind than on your body. That's just my opinion, though. What do I know? I'm also going to remove these out a little bit because I like to be able to grab vertices when I need to, and if they're too close together, it's going to actually create a sharp edge, and I don't really need a sharp edge there, so that's why I'm moving those points out right there. And with the neck here, we totally need to move these out to fix the problem we were getting with the neck. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to have to delete the top anyway as we move forward. But we don't want it to start rounding here because it's going to round towards the other side. So it needs to be straight at this point. And that's what was causing that problem there. Once again, I don't need to be a sharp edge there. So I'm moving those away like that. I really love the tweak components tool. For me, it may seem slow moving points manually one at a time. But honestly, it feels like I have more control this way. And I can just kind of eyeball it while spinning around. It's more like using modeling clay and less like using my skill saw. That probably made no sense to you. Most of you probably never used a skill saw before either, but I have. Okay, again here I'll make a little bit more room here to make selections along that edge easier for scaling it inward. That looks good. Maybe even move these points out a little bit, because when I want to scale them all to center, I need them to be easy to grab without having to grab all the wrong points. So that's what I'm doing here. Again, separating out some of that sharp edge there. Don't need that. Okay. All right, pretty good. So go back to the side view here. See if we can't select those vertices. It looks like we still have these really close together. Oh, I see. Never mind. I need all these kind of on top of each other. They're in the same plane as the ones in the back, which is what I want. I want them to match. And then we'll select them all and straighten them out. Let me check on that neck point there. Okay. Okay, let's go back here to the side view. This tutorial is getting long, but it's pretty easy stuff. We want to stay in verticing mode. We want to get our pick marquee tool here. And we want to select all those edges there. Being careful not to select anything else. And then we'll scale it in again to straighten it out. Just like that. That looks good. Looks really good. We'll go back and instance it, and hopefully we have a really nice instance now. I do like to experiment back and forth. I'm not the best modeler in the world by any means, but there we go. Okay, that looks way better. So I'm much happier with how that looks. The alien still looks somewhat emaciated, which is good. And what we'll do is we'll add bone structure in here later on, so it looks like ribs are poking through. Really make this guy creepy, because he's an alien and all aliens are creepy. I'll see you in the next lesson. We will tackle the head. It's going to be awesome.